Welcome to Beyond Limbs, Amputee Answers and Options. We're sitting here with Scott Allen with FitWell. And once again, my name is Bart. Today we're going to talk with Scott about why he got into this business of doing prosthetics. Scott, welcome today. You and I are going to be doing this YouTube channel. This is our first airing. And we want to talk to you about why you started or got into FitWell and doing prosthetics.
I started with FitWell in 1980. I was in high school. My parents purchased the business in 1980 from the previous owners. FitWell's been around since 1908. My grandfather on my father's side lost his arm in a sawmill accident in California, so that's how my family was aware of this business. I was young when he passed away, so I don't remember him much, but I was doing technician work for my father and got into it, and things were getting interesting in the early 80s. They just developed carbon fiber, and the University of Utah was working on its Utah arm, myoelectric arm. Things were starting to get high tech versus how they had been in the past, so it piqued my interest, and that's why I decided to continue in it, and I'm glad I did. It gives me a lot of opportunities to problem solve, to help patients come up with solutions that they're looking for to enhance their skills and abilities. I've done a lot of unique things over the years. I had a gentleman that was amputated both arms and below the elbow, and he wanted to shoot pistols. And so we came up with a way to have the pistol be mounted into a device that went into his wrist unit, and he was able to attach a cable to it, and then he would shrug his shoulders, which allowed him to be a very good marksman. He didn't pull on the pistol or pull on the trigger and veer it all, so he was actually very accurate at it and did well with that.
And what are some of the things like that? What are some other things issues that you have to work around as a prosthetist?
Every patient's unique, but a lot of them have nerve issues, pain with nerves or sensitivity with nerves, the level of amputation. Some are traumatic, some are elective, some have skin grafts if say a patient was electrocuted or had a disease that had caused the flesh to be compromised. So a lot of problem-solving issues of where to place pressures, where to unload pressures so it's comfortable and doesn't cause the skin to break down. Also, desires, if they want to run or hike or swim or jump out of helicopters. I've got some patients that are on search and rescue teams, and they actually parachute out and land on their prosthetics, and that's quite a lot of impact. So we've designed things that help them to be able to do those tasks. Another patient's on a search and rescue, and he does scuba diving and pulls wrecks and things out of water. So we've worked on his prosthesis to help that be stable underwater and to be waterproof and allow him to get around and do those things that he wants to do.
What are some of the things that would set FitWell apart from others? What are the special things here?
The special things is I like to problem solve. I've got a few patents under my belt, so I like to find solutions. I don't just do what the textbook tells you to do. We want to be creative. So if a patient has a unique desire, whether it's mountain climbing, rappelling, cross-country skiing, different things like that, water skiing, we're able to find solutions and spend time to get those solutions taken care of. When you're doing not abnormal, but different than the standard, sometimes it takes making some test sockets, and you'll send a patient out and he'll go lift weights in the gym and see how that feels when he's working out on a leg press, or go actually jump out of the helicopter to land and see if those adjustments make a difference when those tasks happen. So it's just being willing to spend the time and do what's necessary to come up with a good solution versus having a set schedule where you can only spend so much time, or you've got to hurry and push things through to get deadlines met and quotas met, so to speak.
I know that when we were doing mine, I'm a dog trainer, and I wanted to get back to training as soon as possible because that's income coming in. And we did several test sockets, and we tried several feet before we decided on the foot that I wanted, but we had a good idea because of what I do, what we needed to do as far as the foot goes, the different ones we needed to try. And then with the test socket, we did several just to get it right so that I could get back to work quickly. And I was back training dogs, I think 3.5 months after surgery, which my goal was 4 months. And so we beat the goal and got it done that quick. With what are some of the challenges that you have had specifically where something went wrong, and how did you fix it?
Early on, a lot of things happen. Your leg is shrinking from the surgery, and so you're trying to fit the socket, and you'll shrink a whole bunch. And you can add socks. That kind of helps.
I remember when we were doing test sockets, sometimes the most comfortable socket for me was one with 10 layers of socks, and that was just so comfortable.
Yeah, you've got a cushion in there, but eventually all those socks put pressure on your bones, and then we need to take those off. And you don't want to be wearing 20 plies of socks unless it's in the middle of winter, but it's not really good to have that many socks. So part of the test sockets are to reduce that size up front. Part of them are to try things. You go out and you walk the dog, you do twisting. We ordered the feet that we think will try. We let you try them on. So most of the manufacturers will let us try their product. So we ordered, I think, 6 or 7 feet for you to try out. And you want to take the time to try those and give them a good try. Some of them you can try on in the office and walk on them for 15 minutes and, okay, I don't like that one.
We had one that looked really good on video and got
Mhm.
it in, and it didn't take very long to know that wasn't the one.
Yes. And so it's great to be able to try those, and then you go home on the test fitting and the trial foot for a week, walk the dogs or do whatever you want to do and test those things out. And then that gets a better product for you, and you're more successful in your goals and your outcomes.
Awesome. All right. So in our next video, we're going to talk about preparing for your amputation. If you have that opportunity. Mine was elective, so I had several months to prepare. Obviously, some people it's traumatic and they have to have it done, and they wake up and it's done and didn't have a choice. But on our next one, we're going to talk about how to prepare, and in some highlights for down the road, we're going to talk about how to choose a prosthetist. We're going to talk about different types of feet, different types of sockets. We're going to do trying some different items that are out there. And so this is going to be a place for you to come and get information and the answers that you're looking for. Whenever I was preparing for my amputation, I went down the YouTube rabbit hole a lot, and I've found a lot of good information, but I had a lot of unanswered questions. And rather than it just be me sharing my experience, I wanted it to have us be a pair where sometimes it will just be me, sometimes it will be us, sometimes it will be me interviewing other of your patients about their experiences going over dating as an amputee, just the different things that may come up in life. And so that's what we're creating this YouTube channel for, where we have credibility from Scott and experience from me as an amputee. So stay tuned for further information that's going to come up on this YouTube channel. See you next time.
See ya.